military conquest of Ukraine without having to undergo further mobilization or put the war into a different category. So Russia enjoys advantages on every front, whether we're talking our production of artillery rounds, barrels, replacement barrels for artillery pieces, drones, variety of different drones, combat aircraft, tanks, armored personnel carriers. And they've outmatched and outpaced NATO as a whole on every one of those. And so this is this has caused a panic in NATO and a lot of belligerent tough talk. But so far the reality hasn't intruded on them to the point that they step back and say, we can't hang with the Russians. You know, they're far ahead of us.
But over the past weeks now, we've seen that the EU is not only talking about seizing this shadow fleet that is to take over its oil tankers, similar to what the US is doing to the Venezuelan tankers in the Caribbean. But also, of course, you see direct attacks, such as on a Russian tanker in the Mediterranean. Now they're saying these are Ukrainian drones, but I find it very difficult to believe that this is being done either by the Ukrainian or at least without the contribution and assistance of the Europeans. So this is more direct attacks on Russia's civilian vessels. So, and also at the same time, we hear almost weekly now from British or French generals that we have to prepare to sacrifice our sons and daughters in a war with Russia. And as all of this is happening, seems to be ramping up for a direct war with Russia without the capabilities, which is a problem of its own. We see the Russians also then preparing for this, it seems. I mean, rhetorically, we hear Putin referring to this, but also the capabilities are being prepared in terms of the massive amount of missiles, drones, but also the Oreshnik missile, which is a very powerful weapon, which seems to be aimed solely against Europeans, as the Russians don't want to use this in Ukraine. Do you see us moving towards a direct war between the Europeans and the Russians? And how do you think the United States would react to this? Because the US is also seems to be a little bit in, a little bit out, or at least handing over the war to the Europeans.
Well, we're in a different position than, let's say, you go back to 1939 or 1940, 41, when there were,